It's time to bring the action at Darlington Raceway. It is time to continue one of the best traditions in racing. It's time for the Southern 500. Listen to that awesome roar. Wallace, and then here comes Larson. Hocevar's been shuffled back a couple of positions as Reddick moves his way up to third. And the question begs, does the guy we saw in qualifying as Reddick was ducking low to try and make an early move, then thinks about it twice, does the man we saw yesterday in qualifying in Bubba Wallace, does he continue that trend here tonight?
Well, when I talked to Moody Barker today, he had two simple words. He always gives me kind of their mantra, what they're going to be. As you see three wide racing back in the pack, he said, Stevie, all out. We're going to be all out all night, and it's either going to make it or it isn't. I love that mantra. I think that's what it's going to take.
You'll be lucky to get by with it. 3 wide, Steve. That is aggressive contact.
Oh, Martin Truex Jr., he's lost it. Takes Blaney up into the wall with him.
Two of the best cars in practice. I thought Blaney had the best long-run car.
I'm an idiot.
And here you heard him, I'm an idiot. Truex says he knows he made a mistake only 2 laps into the race. Truex 58 above the cut line. Mathematically not a guarantee, but I thought everything was going to be easy. This is an uphill battle already.
Truex just simply got into the corner too hard for the amount of grip that he had. That's part of this, though. Lap 3, he doesn't really know. It chases the car up the racetrack, makes contact with William Byron, overcorrects the car. Big damage to Blaney.
He wrecks himself because he knew the option 2 was to wreck the 24. That's not Truex's style at all. He didn't want his mistake to affect the 24. Unfortunately, taking himself out got blamed.
And these images from a few moments ago, Truex stepping from his car and also heading to the infield medical center just for a check. Jeff, you highlighted it in one of those replays. Chris Buescher, one of the playoff hopefuls, just narrowly avoiding that incident. Sometimes luck's on your side. It wasn't for Blaney. Chase Briscoe in that black and white high point. Ford right behind. Here comes Tyler Reddick. The 2311 cars are on the charge, and that begs the question, what kind of a role will Tyler Reddick play in helping his teammate make the playoffs tonight?
He'll help to a point, but he wants the victory himself, and I think you're going to see this right here as he gets to the back bumper of Wallace. I think Reddick, he knows what's at store, at stake for the 23. Boss man here, Michael Jordan, in attendance. Now the advantage to this strategy is if a yellow comes out right now, you see a Bubba Wallace on back or a lap down. So Denny Hamlin will pit. Everybody would take the wave around, but he instantly would be the first car on fresh tires. It would be a huge advantage for Hamlin.
There's only 3 drivers following or 2 other drivers following the Hamlin strategy. That's Kyle Busch and Shane Van Gisbergen. Everybody else has come to pit road.
In about 2 seconds a lap. Maybe not quite 2 seconds a lap, right, Jeff?
I'm impressed with that. I think that Denny Hamlin, their ability to run this pace on this many lap tires, I think that's allowing them to play this strategy.
So as Hamlin leaves, we want to take you back and show you this. That involves Kyle Busch. Boom.
It's a pretty good little contact right there. Flat, luckily, but let's take a listen.
That's a part of the racetrack where the wall actually comes back out into the track off of turn 2.
But is he not feeling well physically behind the wheel? Listen in.
4, can you have some ready for me at the end of stage 1 under yellow?
Yes, that was a request for Tums. I did confirm with Billy Scott this afternoon. Tyler's been feeling a little bit sick on the stomach so far today. So, Jeff, I can't imagine. Number one, the Southern 500 is the toughest race all year long. But when you're not feeling 100%, how big of a challenge is that going to be for Reddick tonight?
Well, what you hope is that as the race goes on and the temperature comes down, he starts to feel a little bit better. He knows he has a long night ahead of him, and temperature makes everything worse. You see Briscoe trying to get underneath him right now.
On board with Denny Hamlin, Coca-Cola cam up to 6th. Only 7 seconds behind the leader. 14 seconds behind before running long. So while the first strategy of running long wasn't a net gain, this one, almost a 7-second gain. Good to note for the next stage and how people are going to decide to break it up.
Final lap of stage 1. Kyle Larson, it has been a very strong performance. It's his 9th stage win of this 2024 season, his 5th at Darlington, and some more valuable playoff points.
And if you're Bubba Wallace, mission accomplished, right? You started on pole, you stayed within touch, you finished 2nd in stage 1.
Kyle Larson and poleman Bubba Wallace, let's go here in Darlington. This is going to be a tough slog for Tyler Reddick. Can he hang in there? He's up on that high line. Chase Briscoe is doing the chasing of Kyle Larson. Reddick around his teammate to 3rd. And ever present is that 11 of Denny Hamlin. He's just been creeping and sneaking his way forward, and Ty Gibbs, his teammate, is going with him. Briscoe blocks Reddick. Reddick with a stoic performance. Feeling sick, worried about throwing up, but that foot is to the floor.
It's a tough pass right here. Things get really tight. Both those guys working well together.
I thought for sure you gave him the announcer's curse right there. They were going to go in and bang doors. Oh, they're still not done as the fire comes out the pipes on the 23.
Yeah, Ty just kind of slid up in front of him, took that line away.
Just like that right there.
He is not going to let us do that move. I'm telling you, you got to inch your way there. I know it's frustrating. Deep breath, get zoned back in. Take it that part here a foot at a time. It's all good. Running our race.
And it frustrates you, but you see right here, Ty Gibbs is trying to get every bit of speed he can, just a little bit of contact, but that's the kind of contact that's okay. Watch how it hits. The whole right side, the right rear actually hits first. A little bit of a nudge, and then the right front kind of just touches it. That's an okay hit.
What else is impressive is this pace out of the 24. I thought it was going to be easy work for Hamlin. Yeah. But since they both cleared traffic, William Byron's car has really come to life. Now Hamlin will throw it down to the inside.
Oh, a little touch. Oh. Loosens up the 24 and Hamlin's by.
Oh, I don't think William Byron's going to love that on the radio. I knew he would, he knew he had to fight the 11 off, but aggressive for stage 2.
Yeah, Denny just up the racetrack into the left rear quarter panel. If you're William Byron, you're like, what the heck, man? Like, I'm up against the wall. What do you want me to do?
Won stage 1 in Vegas, won stage 2 in Vegas, and drove all the way to victory lane in Vegas in just the 3rd round of this 2024 Cup Series Championship. Is that an omen for tonight here in the Southern 500? Nobody has really been close. Chase Briscoe, yes, but Kyle Larson in control. Stage 2 victory. 10th stage win of this year.
No, I can only imagine Kyle Larson loved the opportunity. As a spotter, you have to love the opportunity as well. A little bit of challenge here for the 20th Bell, though. We were watching that battle at the front. Barry gets into the left side of Bell, gets up into the wall, damage to the left and the right side of the 20.
Yeah, we see a lot of this tonight. Drivers just getting into the door of the guy on the outside in the middle of 1 and 2 and putting him in a bad position. That's still not quite good enough. What he needs is for Briscoe to run that bottom lane in 3 and 4. Briscoe to the top. That forces Hamlin to go to the bottom. The car just does not rotate like it needs to in the middle. Good forward momentum here, side by side with him.
Denny Hamlin on the inside of Chase Briscoe and has continued this alternate strategy. Come from behind, charge back up through the field to 2nd place. We are under caution for just the 2nd on-track incident, and it is Spire Motorsports' Carson Hocevar, who started on the front row earlier today, losing control of the 77 all by himself.
He was underneath Eric Jones.
Hamlin on the inside, and it's the first time in a long time that we've seen anybody really hassling Kyle Larson. Hamlin's ahead. They touch, heading down the back straight here in Darlington. Larson is unrelenting. He does not want to relinquish the lead. He has led for 245 laps tonight and is making life hard for Hamlin.
Than needed or more than required, you will pay the penalty.
Yes, you will.
Oh, contact on the 17.
Oh!
He gets into Todd Gilliland. They ran out of real estate on the exit of 2. It started with the 38 sliding up, pushing the 17 into the wall. Lucky for the 17 to avoid this.
Let's have a look at what happened to the front row Motorsports driver.
Yeah, Gilliland underneath Buescher, trying to make the pass, gets up the racetrack, squeezes Buescher a little bit. Buescher back down into him.
Listen. So how bad was that hit, Jeff?
I don't think it was that bad, but what, you know, when Buescher gets into the wall, he then comes back, you know, hits the wall, then it comes back and hits the 38.
It's going to be interesting to see what damage there is. Now, the good news for Buescher is he's 15th, only 5 cars behind him. You see right here the frustration.
Nothing between the top 2. A car length at best between Kyle Larson and Chase Briscoe.
I mentioned Bell. What about Kyle Busch? Up to 5th on new tires, 19 years in a row, 33 laps. Will the newer tires bring him into the battle?
And this Morgan & Morgan machine is remaining resilient. Kyle has had top 5s in the last 2 races, and look at Briscoe, top box.
That was the closest Briscoe has gotten to Larson getting into turn 1. Briscoe figured something out in 3 and 4 that time. Let's see if he can do it again.
Caution's out. Oh, and it's for Carson Hocevar again. Significant damage on the front right. You may have noticed when everybody was diving for pit road, Ross Chastain swerved right and kept his Busch Chevy out on track. Ross Chastain in the 1, doing whatever he can to try and stay alive and hope that he has a chance. But everybody that he's surrounded by on fresh tires. Here we go. Gibbs on that high line, Larson on the low line. Briscoe feels he has a chance. Gibbs is looking good on points to make it. Briscoe wants to race his way in like Chastain does. Here goes Briscoe on the inside. The big move from Chase Briscoe. This could be the difference between making the playoffs or not. Wow.
The one of Chastain got an amazing start, better than I expected. 54 kind of paid that off, but what a move by the 14 down the backstretch.
That was epic.
Chastain did a great job of keeping speed into that restart zone, still falling back on those old tires. But look at Kyle Busch and that A car. Briscoe trying to check out, but Kyle Busch, he wants to play.
And look at this 3 wide. Wow, we got a caution. Multi-car incident. Ty Gibbs, Josh Berry, Bubba Wallace, it's over. Wallace's playoff hopes. Busch is trying to dodge the carnage. William Byron's car is torn apart.
Big shot square to the bumper, you all right?
Square to the bumper is actually better. The weakness on this car is really the right and left rear toe link as far as mechanically. Now, without a doubt, Arrow has got major issues, but the first thing is, can you complete laps? Because Buescher still has to finish this race as well.
Watch this. How did it unfold? Josh Berry pushing his way through the middle of Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs. Keep watching it.
Yeah, 3 wide into turn 1 at Darlington never works. It's just not enough room. Somebody had to lift there. Josh Berry extremely aggressive, shooting the middle here. And it's just too wide through there, Steve, is difficult. And now they just all stack into each other.
And Bubba Wallace was doing a really nice job, some front end contact, but then Noah Gragson nowhere to go. He was the one that made the heavy contact.
Gets a flyer. Watch that yellow and black car, the 8 of Kyle Busch on the inside of Keselowski. Now lining up Priest. He goes to the inside of Priest. Christopher Bell is out chasing Briscoe.
A great start by the 14, Jeff, matched by the start of the 8. Lots of positions in one set of corners. 3 laps, fresher tires, and a long winless streak on the line easily disposes of the 5 of Larson. The 263 laps led tonight looks like nothing versus the 8.
Heartbreak last week for Kyle Busch.
Here we go, inside Christopher Bell. The last 2 races, he's finished in the top 5. There's real momentum with this 8 team at Richard Childress Racing. Clears him. Busch to second. 2 guys in the top 2. If they win, they're in.
Coming to 9 to go, still so much time. Oh, I love the high entry for the 8. He'll turn down the hill, get the run, and he'll have the momentum on the 14. The fans are on their feet, Lee.
9 laps to go here in Darlington. Not only to win the Southern 500, but to win your way into the playoffs. These 2 were beating and banging on each other 4 years ago in the Xfinity Series race. And it was Briscoe who came out on top. Now look at Kyle Busch on that low line. And he hits the wall. Briscoe hits the wall. There is nothing between these 2 at the end of 500 miles. 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. Can Briscoe hang on? Or has Kyle Busch got something? Both guys are going to break a very long winless streak. But who will it be? Kyle Busch throwing everything at Chase Briscoe he can. It's a win and you're in. And the 29-year-old from Mitchell, Indiana, Chase Briscoe wins the Southern 500 and is going to the playoffs. 2 weeks in a row, we have been treated to a win and you're in. This time, it's Chase Briscoe.
So good, dude. Holy smokes.
They're out. This man's in. And by the way, the drama continues. The points are in. And Tyler Reddick has won the regular season by 1 single point.
1 point.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.